I recently reviewed the Lenovo ThinkPad X13 Yoga Gen 2, an extremely portable 13.3-inch 2-in-1 laptop. I absolutely fell in love with its petite footprint and competent office performance despite being 4 years old. Now we get to see how well this classic tablet impersonator does at gaming.
Slap Tech.
This then is the ThinkPad X13 Yoga Gen 2. It packs Intel's 11th Gen ULV i7, the 1185 G7 that contains Iris Xe graphics with 96 execution units, the most powerful Intel iGPU of this generation. To its credit, this is the integrated GPU that smacked AMD's bitch up, and we wouldn't have gotten the Radeon 680M without it. To its detriment, it was supplanted by Intel's integrated ARC graphics, and Iris Xe is now convincingly far behind in the overall performance race. Let's see where it stands today. We're starting with Snake Pass. Modern iGPUs can tackle this game at 1200p in medium details at about 60 FPS. Iris Xe hobbles along at barely over 30. In order for this game to reach 60, the detail level will have to go down to low. Keep in mind this means downsampling, so we're not actually looking at 1200p here. It's more like 600p. Nevertheless, it plays at a perfectly smooth 60 FPS, which is more than can be said for Intel's previous Iris Plus graphics processor. Does this mean we'll be able to play modern games with downsampling? No. Case in point, here's Diablo 4. Even at the lowest detail settings at 50% resolution, it struggles to maintain 40. Everything is annoying, and that's no way to live. Is it possible to play games like this? Well, yeah, but so is going on a road trip with a rabid Wolverine in the back seat. Friends don't let friends drive their cars with rabid Wolverines in the back seat, and friends don't let friends play Diablo 4.
Hey, the script says friends don't let friends play Diablo 4 with Iris Xe.
I said what I said. Diablo 3 is much more reasonable at 900p in low details. This footage is in 1200p and it might look okay wandering around in most places, but when the mobs come in, a smooth frame rate will go out, and it will be enough to when I said that, hang on. It might look okay wandering around in most places, but when the mobs come in, a smooth frame rate will go out. And it will be enough to mess up your clicks in a tense fight, so it's best to keep the resolution low. In my testing, 900p proved to be reliable enough and won't put any unnecessary burdens on your demon demolishing itchy trigger finger. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a game that I only feature for the joke about controlling a strong, independent woman, but in order for it to be almost playable, the resolution has to be lowered to 800 by 600, which will make it very difficult to find the Holy shit, is that was in the script. Are you trying to get us swatted? Witcher 3 is another modern classic that's worth testing. 800p in low details gets us just above 30 most of the time in Novetto Granistanville. You didn't think I'd get it that well, did you? You tried to pull it on me. I showed you. And really the best method is to reduce yourself to Switch-esque graphics options by limiting the frame rate to 30. Even then, there will be stuttering aplenty because looking at the spec sheet for the ThinkPad X13, it shows that the VRAM comes with an asterisk, which then, followed to the bottom of the page, reads that 512 megs of system memory identifies as being VRAM. In that case, I ate chicken for lunch today, with an asterisk. The asterisk being I ate chicken-flavored ramen noodles, which probably was actually 0.01% of a chicken 30 processes ago. Moving on, this is Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, and those are black textures. The texture detail is set to low, and it's still not enough to keep the GPU from choking on bitmaps. To be fair, this only occurs in the outside world, not the dungeons. To be fairer, frame rates will dip when there's plenty of vista to go around, even in large cavernous dungeon rooms. It can be played, but it's also a little sad. Okay, it's time to stop poking fun of this ThinkPad that's obviously not designed to be a gaming device and showcase some titles that run very well. Quake 2, which was remastered in 2023, runs perfectly fine at 1200p. The older Iris hang on. The older Intel Iris Plus graphics units can't do this, but Iris Xe certainly can. Likewise, Overcooked 2 shows 60 FPS in the world map and early stages and high details at 1200p. You see, even with this power miser of a CPU, you can still play this well enough to turn friends into frenemies. Hotshot Racing is also a great game to play. Hotshot Racing is also great at max details and 1200p. If you haven't played this game yet, I would highly suggest letting it power slide into your heart. The greatest part about playing these simpler games on the The greatest part about playing these simpler games on the ThinkPad X13 is that the performance on battery power is pretty damn close to being plugged in. I dare say it's stop trying to look at her, but I dare say it's only down 10% when away from a wall juice dispenser, and a full capacity battery lasts for 2 hours playing PC games, which is twice as long as a bona fide gaming notebook. On this same vein, all 2D games will run great. Hollow Knight is the most GPU-intensive 2D game I have in my library, and it runs flawlessly in high details. Rest assured that your 2D indie game collection is ready to be copied over and enjoyed on the ThinkPad X13. Now I get to talk about my favorite subject, the games I'll actually be playing on this laptop for the most part, retro games. I love talking about them because it largely takes performance out of the equation and mostly focuses on the peripherals. The quality of the monitor, speakers, and battery life are quintessential to the retro gaming conversation. But first, let's clear the air and establish what kind of performance to expect. There's plenty of CPU power for anything Dolphin in 2x native res, which means PCSX2 is also a given. Fast-paced games that load assets quickly are a challenge, and there will be more stuttering in general than a laptop with a modern iGPU, but once everything is cached, it'll be a good time. The display on the X13 has perfectly neutral colors with 100% sRGB coverage, so colors don't pop, but also aren't dull. The ghosting on this display is tolerable, and motion in 2D games won't be much of a bother, and neither will the input lag if using a wired controller. Bluetooth works, but it prefers to sip power, so if an input hasn't been made for a couple of seconds on Bluetooth, there will be a half-second delay while it wakes up. I would highly recommend using a wired controller. The speakers on the X13 are also just fine. The clarity of the output is very good, with well-balanced mids and highs, but the bass wasn't invited to the party at all. Who knows what the bass did to piss everyone else off, but it's not here and nobody has checked in with the bass for a long time. Someone please text the bass to see if the bass is okay. As for battery life, 2D retro games will stay up and running for 8 hours, which is incredible and matches wits with the modern Core Ultra CPUs. Less CPU-intensive 3D platforms will also give great battery life as long as they perform well in battery saver mode. Dolphin, unfortunately, needs the full potential of the 11th Gen ULV i7 and won't perform well in modern efficient states. Okay, so it won't perform well in more efficient states like balanced or battery saver. So its projected battery life sits at 2 hours and 15 minutes, very close to the PC gaming numbers, as far as battery life is concerned. So Dolphin will only last for as long as playing actual PC games, which in itself is kind of bad news, but playing PC games for 2 hours is not bad news, I guess. Anyway, for the bottom line, the XPad, I keep on calling it the damn XPad. For the bottom line, the ThinkPad X13 2 Yoga makes for a compelling alternative to modern handheld gaming PCs. It's down on power to even the Steam Deck, but I'll argue that it's more portable because it's thinner and demands a laptop bag that will also hold other peripherals more easily than just a Steam Deck carrying case. You'll definitely have to trim up your game collection to make sure it's simpler or old enough for this laptop to handle, but the sheer convenience of the thin and light laptop form factor with a much larger screen than a handheld crams in so much value, especially given the price tag of less than $600 for a used example. In conclusion, if you're in the market for a portable gaming device and happen upon the X13 Gen 2 in great condition at a fair price, and you fully understand the caveats in performance, I'd go right ahead and buy it. It's a wonderful PC to travel with and play older games on. This has been Playing Games with the Lenovo ThinkPad X13 Yoga Gen 2 here on Slaptech. Rest assured that I'm going to keep my eyes open for an alternative to review and compare it to. Now it's my mission to find the perfect portable and affordable 2-in-1, and this laptop's first competitor is already on the way. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the next review and the next laptop head-to-head comparison. Thanks for watching, and you guys, have a good night.